Welcome. Here we're going to talk about the rules for determining how many significant digits, also known as significant figures, are in a number. So really this is a conversation that focuses around zeros. If the number is non-zero, if it's a digit that is 1 through 9, then it's significant. Count it. But if it is a zero, there's some special rules. So let's consider the situations when zeros are and are not significant. So when are zeros significant? So zeros are significant in a few scenarios. First is if it's between two non-zero digits. So if it's between two other numbers, then you do count it. The second is, this would be an example. Sorry, we'll just go do examples as we go. Example, if I have 101, that zero is in between two non-zero digits, so this has 3 significant figures. The second is if it is to the right of, oh sorry, that's not how I want to phrase this. I want to say trailing a decimal point. So here an example would be 20.0. The fact that that 0.0 is included indicates that it is significant. If it's not significant, then the author or whoever is writing this down would eliminate it. So this has 3 significant digits. The third scenario is, oh, sorry, I shouldn't switch to black. The third scenario is when it is marked by an overbar. So this I don't see as often. There are some of the sciences that do it more frequently, but the example would be as follows. If I gave you 1,300, these zeros that are trailing, they're not significant because they're not between two non-zero digits. They're not between two significant digits. They're not trailing a decimal point. This would actually only have 2 significant figures. However, if I add what's called an overbar here, I'm telling the reader that that is a significant digit. So this would have 3 significant digits. The 1, the 3, and the 0 with the overbar. Those are the 3 significant digits. So those are the scenarios where where zeros are significant. Let's talk about when zeros are not significant. So again, we have a few scenarios, and we've already talked about a little bit. The first is when it's at the right end of a whole number. So examples of this, we could have 10. The number 10 has only 1 significant digit. The 0 is at the right end of a whole number, and so it is not significant. So this has only 1 significant digit. And then if it is at the left end of a number. So I didn't say a whole number. I said a number. So this could be a decimal or a whole number. It is unusual and not very common for people to write whole numbers with zeros in front. If I do 0, 1, 2, 5, and I call that number 125, that's something that might show up in like a computer program where you have to have 4 digits and they're forcing that. But this number here, 0125, would have only 3 significant digits because that 0 is at the left end of the number. That happens very rarely, but the situation that happens frequently that does trip students up is going to be as follows. What if I have 0.0018? A lot of students will look at this and say, well, there's 4 decimal places, so it has 4 significant figures. That is not the case. This number, 0.0018, has only 2 significant figures. These leading zeros at the left end of the number do not count. So those are the scenarios where our figures are significant or not, and kind of how to tell when we have these. Now, the importance of significant digits, significant figures, is when you're answering problems. So when you're answering problems, don't round until the very end of the problem. And when you get to the end of the problem, the common practice is to round your answer to the lowest significant figure in the problem. Thank you so much for watching.